Stressful day at work? Pour a drink. Want to relax with friends? Pour a drink. Celebrating a special occasion? Pour a drink. There are millions of people in the world that drink for a whole host of different reasons. And that's all well and good, but what happens when you stop drinking alcohol for 30 days? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be breaking down today in this video. I'm going to be sharing my experience of stopping drinking for 30 days, and I'm also going to talk to you about a few people that have recently joined the Sober Clear program who have had two extremely different experiences, because different people will experience very different things. So what I want to do for you in this video is I want to give you a broad view, because you may end up anywhere on this spectrum. It could be very easy, it could be a little bit more challenging. So I'm going to use my experience as well as these guys' experience to really prepare you if you are on this journey. And guys, if you actually want my personal help stopping drinking, you want to use first principles thinking, and you want to join the Sober Clear program where we use coaching to really focus on the future, click the link in the description and you can actually book a roadmap call with me, and you and I can get on a call and we can actually see if this program could be a good idea for you. So if you want to get one of those calls, first come, first served, click the link in the description, choose a time, answer the questions, and then we can have a conversation, see if the program may be good for you. But back to the video. The first thing that I've got to touch on before we get into what may happen in those 30 days is the approach that you take. The approach really is everything, and that really dictates how the next 30 days will go. Somebody that stops drinking in a rehab that doesn't really want to stop drinking is going to have a very different experience to somebody who's self-motivated and they might even be doing it on their own using willpower. Different people will experience very different things. Now, as you guys know, I drank alcohol for close to 10 years, and I was very up and down, binge drinking, roller coaster living, sometimes daily drinking, and I'd had many times where I went 30 days without drinking. I know that's not everybody's experience, but it's my experience. You know, there were many times where I'd go at least 30 days, but all of those attempts were very, very similar. Now, the reason why those attempts were similar is because I was always using the same method. I was always using my willpower to stop drinking. Now, don't get me wrong, I had tried going to AA and I really gave that a big shot, but to me, it was still using an element of willpower. And I'll explain. Why I say the method is the most important thing is because the first 30 days is dictated by your perception of alcohol. This is the most important thing. If you decide to stop drinking alcohol and you do not change your current perception and your current worldview and your current paradigm, the first 30 days of stopping drinking is far from easy. Sure, you might see benefits, you might see weight drop off, family members start saying well done, you might get all of these amazing things that happen to you. However, what's going on with your mindset and inside your body is going to be different. If you are seeing alcohol as a good thing, the longer that you go without drinking it, the higher that you put it on a pedestal. So during, the 10 years of me drinking and all of these, 30 day, 60 day, whatever attempts that I was doing at the time, I always saw alcohol as a good thing. So what happened is over time, over those 30 days, alcohol would get more and more and more and more attractive. It didn't get less attractive, it got more attractive because I hadn't changed my perception. I still saw a benefit to drinking it. And don't get me wrong, I've spoke to thousands of people with drinking problems now, with my business, Sober Clear, and I hear the same thing again and again and again. People have stopped drinking on their own, but they can't get rid of the obsession. They can't get rid of the craving. They always feel like they're depriving themselves. So for most people, stopping drinking for 30 days, there are going to be benefits. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be generally a good thing. But the longer that most people go without alcohol, the more attractive alcohol looks. I'm sure that there are people out there that have just used willpower and they've lasted for the rest of their life. I'm not saying not to try and do something. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, right? I'm sure that there are many people that just use willpower, stop for 30, 60, 90 days, and so on. However, in my experience, and just from what I've seen repeatedly from the people that I've spoke to that are interested in stopping drinking, eventually this idea of just resisting alcohol eventually ends up in failure. There'll just be a day where you're tired, you're not feeling your best, something bad happens, maybe a family member gets poorly or something like that, and boom, that day alcohol is so high on a pedestal, you're feeling low, you end up drinking to try and just alleviate whatever state you're in. However, in my experience and what I've been helping people do in the Sober Clear program is what it's all about is changing your perception. It's the foundation of everything. Being able to see alcohol as ethanol, as a poison, as really something that's just a toxic substance, the same way that you might see bleach or window cleaner, you're not going to put that in your body because it's just a toxic substance. When you start to see alcohol this way and you see zero benefits, I'm not talking about 1 or 2 benefits here and there. When you see zero benefits, you've completely reframed the way that you view the drug. And when I did this just over 3.5 years ago, the 30-day experience was completely different because I had a different level of certainty. I knew I was all in, 100% committed, and I wasn't going back. So I no longer needed to use willpower. Alcohol was no longer getting higher and higher and higher on a pedestal. If anything, it was becoming less and less and less attractive over time. The longer that I went without it, the less attractive that it looked. Now, so my experience during the first 30 days of not drinking isn't the same as everybody's, as you'll learn further into the video. But my experience was generally very positive. I knew that I wasn't going to drink again, and within a few days, the confidence started coming back, the clarity started coming back, the belief in myself started coming back. Before I knew it, I was actually, as you guys may already know, I was working in a restaurant. I actually had gone backwards in life. I'd lost my personal training business. I had to borrow money, stay with a friend, and all of this bad stuff had happened. But within a few days of not drinking alcohol, I was straight back to the gym, self-employed with no clients, having to build a business again from scratch, get on the gym floor, meet new people, really sell something that I believed in, which was coaching. And that happened so quickly. Like, the shift happened so fast because I had that level of certainty. I knew that I wasn't going to drink again, so I could commit to bigger goals. I could go for something scary, a bit risky, and it went well. Obviously, over the past 3.5 years, many amazing things have happened as a result of not drinking alcohol, but it started here. It started with this first 30-day period where the confidence came back and I felt great. Now, that's all well and good, but I was just on a call in the Sober Clear program, and it's a coaching call where we're discussing progress in the month, and there were a few newer members in there. And some of those individuals, they're just kind of reaching about that 3 to 4 week mark, and I wanted to share what they're experiencing because my experience isn't going to be the same as everybody's, and that's what I love about the Sober Clear program and doing the coaching and stuff like that is people learn from each other. I'm just one person at the end of the day, and I can share my experience, and for some people, me sharing my experience is enough, but I think it's going to be a lot more valuable for you if I actually use some examples of people that have drank, very differently to the way that I drank. They might have drank for a lot longer. The first guy that I want to talk about is somebody that drank for many years, drank daily. He would drink 10 to 15 drinks a day. And he's just reached 23 days. And he said that it has been years since he's done this. And actually, he went to AA in the past. He went for 7 years to AA, didn't drink a drop. But he told me that entire 7 years, he always felt like he wanted to drink. However, he now claims, or what he says is that he's now all in. Right? He's fully committed. He feels like the switch has been made and he doesn't want to go back. So there's a completely different level of certainty now. He's reframed alcohol. However, he drank a lot longer than I did. He's a lot older than me and consumed a lot more alcohol. I was binge drinking a lot. Sometimes I would daily drink. There were periods where I was like that, but it wasn't like I wasn't drinking for 15 years every single day extremely heavily. So this individual is having a bit of a different experience to me. Now, because he's got that level of certainty, this isn't a bad thing. He's not going to drink. However, what he was saying is that it's taking him some time to adjust to this new life. And it's been 3 weeks where he still doesn't feel fully adjusted. He's doing a lot of things for self-care at the moment. He said he was doing salt baths, massage, facials. He's really taking good care of himself, getting back into the exercise. But he said it's been so long that he's kind of been in this cycle that, the thought of setting new goals and doing hobbies and doing this and doing that is completely new to him. He said, sleep at the moment is still not perfect. He still feels a bit groggy, but because he's all in, he's okay with this. But what I've explained to him and what will happen to him is, that first month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks for some individuals, it might be a little bit challenging. It might just not feel quite right. But after that time has passed and you've got through that, that's when life just starts taking off. That's when the health starts getting better. The relationship starts getting better. Everything starts getting better and you put this problem behind you. But the trick is because this individual has not got alcohol on a pedestal anymore, the longer that he goes without alcohol, it doesn't become more attractive. Because he's had that switch and he's changed the way he views alcohol to see it as ethanol, as a bleach, as poison, as window cleaners, whatever. He doesn't need to count the days, right? Just because he's gone 30 days, 23 days, whatever he's at right now, just because he's gone that far, it doesn't make him more solid in his journey. If he's all in from day one, he's 100% solid already. But that being said, he's still adjusting to things, which wasn't my experience, which is why I wanted to create this video, because for you, it might be the same as him. Now, there was another individual in the program that's around 1 month into the program now. So she was also on this call today, and she's had a different experience to the individual. I don't want to say his name, the individual I was talking about previously. Now, this lady, she is about 1 month. She had a drinking problem, it was causing problems in her life, don't get me wrong. However, her first month has been very different. Sure, the first few days was a little bit peculiar, but now she's started to say say that what she's struggling with is actually work-life balance. She feels like the confidence is back, the clarity is back, the energy is back, she's just smashing work, and she feels great regarding alcohol. She's gone through the whole holiday period, no issues whatsoever. She got gifted alcohol and she gave it away, and things are fine for her. There is no issue, and she's straight back into work. She's got the momentum, and for her, the first 30-day period has been a breeze. There was a very small period where she was getting used to things, which was a very similar experience to me. But wherever you are on this journey, just know that if the first 30 days are easy for you, great, get on with it. If the first 30 days are a little bit strange, a little bit difficult to get used to, that's okay. That feeling will pass. But the trick is the approach that you take. It's the most important thing in changing your paradigm first is, in my eyes, the game changer. Then you don't need to use willpower because you no longer put alcohol on the pedestal. You just see it for what it is. And if you want my personal help doing that, and if you want to be in the Sober Clear program, getting my help, going on the coaching calls, going through the first principles thinking, changing your paradigm, click the link in the description. Let's book a call. Let's have a conversation and see if this could be a good idea for you. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Have a great day.